And thank you for being here and joining us for this Kiki that we are about to have. We are excited. Over the next 3 weeks, we are going to deep dive into Eurovision 2015, which was the last time we were in Austria.
Yay. In Vienna, even.
So not only are we getting a preview of what the whole stadium looks like, but during the postcards, we even got to, see little places in Vienna, and they had a whole segment during this semifinal one. And I'm just like taking notes about all the places we should go see when we're there. So yeah, it was a fun watch.
It was. It was a good way to get yourself hyped for what's to come in 2026.
Definitely.
So the show kicked off with Conchita giving us another epic performance of Rise Like a Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
And what I thought was really cool about that is, some couple of minutes into the song, she goes, "The stage is yours," which I just thought was a really cool send off. Mm-hmm. And then we see all of the contestants who are performing that evening come out of the green room and up onto the stage.
Basically a flag ceremony.
Yeah, I took note of that. Was they're basically giving them their own little flag ceremony in the first semifinal, as opposed to what we see as part of tradition now, which is the flag ceremony at the grand final. So I loved that for them.
I really like that, because then it gives the people who don't end up qualifying the chance to at least get to participate in some of that fanfare, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, loved that for them.
Exactly. Yeah, that was just a nice way to get it all kicked off. And then we see that Conchita is going to be our green room correspondent throughout the competition. So get her involved.
Yeah.
Might as well just call her a host at this, she had hosting duties.
Yeah. I feel like we saw her and the hosts an equal amount of time.
For real. Yeah. The theme this year was building bridges, so I also kind of appreciated the metaphor there as well during the flag ceremony as they're crossing the bridge to get onto the stage. That played a pretty lovely part to the overall theme, as well as tying it into the postcards as well. You saw that as part of the sort of ending to each postcard segment. They had a billboard next to bridges and things of that nature. So I liked how the theme kind of tied everything together.
Yeah. Speaking of the postcards, I was kind of underwhelmed by them.
Well, after we watched 2014 and we saw
2014's were
they were
it's awesome. Yeah, they were awesome. So I was just kind of okay, well. So we'll see what they do this year. Notably, 2015 is the first year of Australia's participation in Eurovision. So welcome, Australia.
Yay.
Which was also equally interesting, because normally we have the big five plus host country having automatic qualifiers. This year we have the big five plus 2 automatic qualifiers, being Austria as well as Australia, giving them a golden ticket for their debut in 2015.
Which is nice, right? Hey, you're brand new.
Yeah.
let's give you let's make sure that you have a shot at this, right? Throughout the contest, we got to see several of the different postcards, right? Like we talked about. So let's just dive into the actual performances. I think for today, we are going to be highlighting those 6 who did not advance, because we're obviously, everybody who does advance, we're going to talk about them again when we get to the finals.
So for those in semifinal 1, we had 16 acts that performed in this round. We had Moldova, Armenia, Belgium, the Netherlands, Finland, Greece, Estonia, the former Yugoslavic Republic, Macedonia, which these days
AKA
we just call
North Macedonia,
Serbia, Hungary, Belarus, Russia, Denmark, Albania, Romania, and last but not least, Georgia. Where would we like to start, knowing that we're focusing on just the non-qualifiers?
Right. Maybe let's just rip off the Band-Aid.
Run order or worst to best?
Let's do worst to best. Let's just rip off the Band-Aid. So placing 16th was Finland. Is somebody want to give a shot at the pronunciation of that song title?
Aina Munpita?
I mean, let's go with it.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I
By
love it.
Perti Kurikan Nimi Paivat.
Even better. Let's start with some of the highs for them, which is that they hold the current Eurovision record for having the shortest having the shortest song, coming in at 1 minute and 57 seconds.
I think the song is actually 1 minute and 27 seconds. The performance and everything around it was 1:57, 54.
Okay.
Whatever. But the song
I mean,
itself
either
is
way,
1 minute 27. It's half of the time limit, less than half the time limit.
I mean,
You
less
just
is
don't
more,
see that.
right?
Can't be.
They packed it in that period of time.
Yeah. And I think we all did kind of some of the same research. But they were formed, this band was formed as a charity workshop for adults with disabilities. So I think that was really cool. And you could they were absolutely vibing and thriving, which was great to see. They were having such a good time. Definitely a massive tonal genre shift from the rest of what was in this semifinal. But I loved that they just came in and did their own thing.
And not out of the realm for Finland, right?
I wrote
my
Finland
first impression before I did any of the background lookup or anything. I was just like, okay, this feels like Finland.
That's exactly what I wrote down.
Super
Finland
punky,
doing
loud.
Finland doing what Finland does, and I'm not mad about it.
Yeah.
One thing I will say in this semifinal is there was only 2 songs that were in a language other than English. And even then Romania had English in their song. Yep. So to me, Finland at least gets the prize that like you were the only one singing other than English, and I appreciate that.
And I loved the message that this song talked about, which is, again, talking about how they come with disabilities and different disabilities, and how those disabilities sometimes sets them back, and that still brings a lot of anger for them and frustration. And so this was an outlet for them to be like, yeah, these set us back and we get angry about it, but that's not going to stop us. So I truly actually appreciated the song for that messaging and that messaging alone. It's fascinating to know that it was high up there in the betting odds to perform well, but the jury thought otherwise, and it came in dead last in the first semifinal.
These were the days where there was a lot less transparency in the voting, I would say. And for most countries, all of the countries except Georgia, actually in the semifinal, their scores were 50% televote, 50% jury vote. And Georgia was 100% jury vote. Who knows? But I think that the juries can really, if it's half and half, you can really drown out by giving someone 0 points. Even if they do well.
The voting system definitely was not what it is today.
And I mean, there's still even calls for more transparency today. So, but it was definitely a lot more opaque in 2015. So, I thought that they had fun not going on my playlist, not my genre, not my style. Like, as far as the performances went, especially of these bottom 6, like they nailed it. Like they did.
Not mad about it.
They sang the song the way that it was sung. They came out and did the thing. So
the staging isn't anything that I would. It's everything I would expect from that
from like
genre.
A punk. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Totally. So
they did their thing.
Yeah, sure. I enjoyed it.
So
who's next, Doug?
As we move up, we get the former Yugoslavic Republic of Northern Macedonia with Autumn Leaves by Daniel Kajmakowski.
Mikowski.
Okay.
Hey, Mikowski.
Yeah. Yeah. I just wrote in big bold capital letters woof because
I wondered if
Steve,
you might.
yeah, because duh. But I was also super confused because I wanted to know what was going on with his backup crew.
You mean Shaft? Times 3?
I didn't know if it was Shaft or I'm totally drawing a blank, but
I was like, did you recruit Boys to Men? Like, what are we doing?
I thought Boys to Men. I thought that one group that used to sing that song way back in the day that's like, and all my life I pray for someone like you.
Yeah.
And I thank God that I finally found you. I was like, how did he find them and bring them to Vienna? I can't think of the name of that group from like the late 90s, early 2000s, but if our viewers can remind me, let a girl know. I don't know.
But I think it was just an interesting choice.
Yeah. There was passion. The passion was there, but
that's Casey and JoJo, by the way.
Casey and JoJo, thank you. Thank you.
It was Shaft, Casey, and JoJo were the backup dancers.
Meets Boys to Men.
Like, because there were, the 3 of them. I was just like, the song couldn't figure out what genre it was. Like, it was like kind of R&B, but also definitely Balkan. Yeah. And he was really off key for a lot of it. It was a struggle. It was hard to listen to for some of it. And he came out in like that, like the duct tape.
It was very distracting because at first I thought it was like a tuxedo shirt, but then it's not.
It was like taped on, and I was like, we didn't have a budget for a real shirt.
Oh,
I mean, budgets can be tight sometimes, but I don't know.
But you can buy a shirt. Like, you're going to Eurovision. Come on. Yeah. It was a pass for me. Honestly, like, I was kind of offended that it placed higher than Finland.
I was just thinking that, as we're talking about this, I'm like, wait, like, but Finland did what Finland does. And now I'm just like,
yeah.
Northern Macedonia doesn't know what their song was.
Yeah.
I don't know. It wasn't great.
Anyway, not for me.
I mean, if we got to say something nice, I will say that the graphics that they had on the screen were decent with some fall leaves going on.
Sure. Autumn leaves.
He's an aesthetically pleasing looking gentleman from a Balkan country, and I cannot argue with that. So that there's that.
You just said facts.
That's
beautiful gowns. Energy.
Beautiful gowns. Beautiful face. And with that, let's go to the next country.
Let's go to the next one. So in 14th place, we have Netherlands, Walk Along. And they even said her name. Trijante?
Yeah. Oosterhuis or something.
So they received a total of 33 points, which actually ties them with Denmark in 13th place. So from a points perspective, they're effectively tied. So
I was somewhat surprised that this song did not qualify, but yet at the same time I wasn't overly surprised. Like,
it was forgettable.
It wasn't awful, but it wasn't memorable.
Right.
It was forgettable. Her voice was really good, but I literally couldn't hum it for you right now.
Right. Like, I enjoyed the song.
It was giving like Michelle Branch or like some Natalie
I was gonna
or something.
Yeah, something like that. Like, and my initial was like with the lace veil thing. I was like, okay,
that lasted
like
too long.
Alanis. Yeah, the zoom in on her face was too long.
If you want to start there and immediately pull out, great. We
was a
spent
lot
like
of just
10
eyes.
seconds. Hello.
Looking at her eyes.
All right.
And she had like love written on her knuckles,
Oh,
which was
I don't think
weird.
I even picked
Like
up
it
on
was
that.
like she had her microphone up and just had LOVE on these first knuckles in like neon
I
letters. It
didn't
was
even-
very strange. And took me too long. It was distracting to try and figure out what it said. Yeah, I just think it was forgettable. Also, her outfit was very weird. I didn't understand what it was. It was like a jumpsuit, parachute thing. I don't know.
I did take note of the outfit, and I again, this is why I was like surprised yet not surprised that she didn't make it, because I was like, the outfit's cute, but I do have some questions about it. The staging is good, but I also consider it a little mediocre. It's a song where you let the voice and the lyrics do the talking, which I think she did, and I think it supported her performance, but did it provide the oomph that it needed to get her to qualify in this batch of songs? The answer is no.
Right.
But that is not to discredit that as a recorded song. It's still good, but not necessarily one that I'm going to dive for and listen to incessantly on repeat.
Yeah, like
That's a nice way to say it. Thank you.
if I'm televoting, I'm not throwing any points at this. Like,
Yeah.
and so then it's just like, well, yeah, if no one does, then yeah, you can't win that way. You know, like it was not near my top 10 of the songs out of this semifinal. So,
Yeah.
Right. And I do
You know.
need to point out the like backup dancer or backup singers outfits with like
What
the
was
googly
that?
eyes or what it was distracting, to be honest.
There were a lot of little things that were just like unnecessary and really because like you said, Stephen, like this is a focus on the lyrics, focus on the music. Don't write shit on your fingers. Don't put googly eyes on your backup singers. Put on a normal outfit. Like there's just like enough things that were distracting. Also, like the ground had a graphic on it that was coming out of one spot and she was not in that one spot.
And that bothered you.
And I was like, she's off her mark. Girl, get back on your mark.
Find your mark.
Places.
It's just kind of one thing after another of why did you make this choice and why did you make that choice?
Yeah.
That all adds up.
Right.
And the jury saw.
And added up to 33.
Yep.
Ooh.
Anyway.
Speaking of 33.
I was going to say tied for 33 as well.
Now we get to Denmark, The Way You Are by Anti-Social Media. That is the name of the group.
It was, yes. I caught note
just
of that
so we're
as
clear.
well.
Yes.
It's kind of like a clickbait kind of thing. This is Anti-Social Media.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
did not like this.
I was indifferent. I think that's as good of a thing as you're going to get.
I thought it was super hokey. Go ahead, Steven. Sorry.
Nope, you go. You go first.
I thought it was like a cheap imitation of like the early 60s, like nice clean cut boy band, like early Beatles kind of era. Like that thing you do, basically. It was like a cheap imitation of the Wonders.
They were definitely going for a certain feel. That feeling was dollar store version.
Right. It fell really flat from what it could have been. And like, yeah, it just was not, it didn't meet the mark of that vibe, which can be super fun. And I mean, that's one of my favorite movies. So would love it. Didn't love it.
I said if I was a teenager or had kids, it would probably be a song I'd be more into, to tie into very much like that thing you do where you're trying to attract the teenage kid crowd or trying to attract like the teenage girl crowd, to be sort of that genre. That's where my mind went to. It's fun, it's light, it's playful, but it's not the type of fun, light, playful that I'm typically drawn to. I think for a song in 2015, I'm going back to like my younger 30s. Maybe I would have been a little bit more drawn into it at that time, but right now,
As someone who's in my
No.
younger 30s,
Okay.
brag.
All right.
I was not
Okay.
into it.
I mean, honestly, it wasn't the worst song that I heard in the semifinal.
Yeah, we can't all be North Macedonia.
Ooh. Oh God, the hate, the shade of it all. My goodness.
It wouldn't be
What-
Eurovision Kiki
what
without
did they
me
do
being
to
overly
you?
mean. Sing off key. That's all you got to do.
Okay, so for me, there are 3 songs that did advance to the finals that I didn't love, and so I'd be curious to know, like, I don't know, would I have substituted them out for one of the other ones that I didn't like? I don't think so, but it was right there on the bubble for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I mean, we'll get into it when we get to the grand final. There were definitely a few in this one that I was like, okay, that's
a choice.
definitely a choice that we're taking that one forward. But then again, I mean, we're looking at some of these ones that did not qualify, and are we really speaking highly of them so far?
Right.
No.
Well, and that's the thing is like, and I wonder if part of it is because we didn't spend 6 months loving these songs and growing with them, right? Because like we look at the last couple of years, and there are songs that didn't advance to finals that I'm like,
Riot.
Justice for Luna. Justice for Luna.
these songs because they are amazing, but I don't feel that same connection, and part of that is because we are just doing these songs now, so I get that.
Justice for Adonis. Justice for Theo Evan.
So I wonder if we would feel differently if, in 2015,
If we were in the full cycle of it, maybe.
Justice for James Newman, even though he had the golden ticket.
Okay, so we do get to number 12, Belarus, Time by Uzari and Maimuna.
Sure.
Yeah.
She felt like an afterthought.
Yeah.
But I think the emphasis was more on her violin playing than her actual,
Right.
So instead of getting an interpretive dancer, we got her pretending to play the violin.
But she at least, she's a named artist. So, it's like this song wouldn't have been the same without her. It's not like a silent figure skater in the background, 2014.
I think we would have been just fine without her, is what I'm saying.
But I don't know. I thought she brought enough, I think sometimes, especially when instrumentals are a big piece of the performance, honestly with Finland, I was like, yeah, watch that kid play the drums, even though in my brain I know that he's not actually playing, but when it's such a big part of it, Finland, Belarus, I can kind of suspend my disbelief and be like,
right.
Get it, girl.
No. That's, to me, the violin really helped elevate the song, because for me, and that's why she was important to be part of.
Don't get me wrong,
stage performance.
A violin can elevate a song. Lindsey Sterling, hello.
Yeah. But it's also, and it's she's a violinist, so if not bringing her violin on stage, what is she to do?
Yeah.
That's a fair point.
What does the violinist do? Given the fact that, to me, I considered the song a mixture of semi-rock pop, I thought that that's what the violin was there to help do, was just kind of balance all of that. And I just put safe, good, no complaints. I will say, I am surprised that it did not qualify to the grand final compared to some of the others that did.
And I'm surprised that it didn't beat Moldova.
How it didn't beat Moldova, how it didn't advance is beyond me, because
and
It
by a
was
lot.
great.
And by
Yeah.
a lot, because this had 39 points, Moldova had 41, so that's pretty close. And then Albania, the first qualifier, had 62 points. That's a huge jump. And so that is like why it's super surprising that at least the places like 8 through 12, I think should have been closer points wise. I was surprised that it was
Yeah.
such a big jump from didn't qualify to qualified.
Yeah.
No, I will say that Belarus, in this instance, you are going to make my playlist. I appreciate what you brought to the table, and I believe that they should have advanced to the finals. I would easily have said goodbye to Armenia, Hungary, or Albania
Yeah.
to make sure that they advanced.
I would have
I
easily
agree.
said goodbye to Armenia for sure. I don't know
Yeah.
if we want to talk about that now or in the grand final. But
Let's talk about it in the grand final. That's a
Yeah.
whole thing.
We can
Put a
dish
pin
on them on another day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
put a pin in that one. Let's see what they do at the grand final.
Yeah.
So with that, we have the last NQ, which is Moldova.
Yeah, we have Moldova, I Want Your Love by Edward Romanuta.
The first thing I want to say is just no regrets. Not even a single letter.
Yeah.
He looks just like that guy from
this song does absolutely not require stripper cops.
Okay.
Why?
If you hire amateur strippers or your bachelorette party.
Like,
why?
And the more I listened to the song, the more confused I got by the stripper cops, because I was like, this song is like bubblegum, cutesy, little like pop little song. Why is it so slutty?
People may or may not remember this, but in 2010, during Britney Spears' Femme Fatale tour, she has a great song called Up and Down. And in said concert, she performs a very similar stripper cop performance to said song. And it reminded me a lot of I Want Your Love, where she has people dressed up as stripper cops. And the only thing that was missing between these two performances was a stripper pole, because she had stripper poles while performing Up and Down. And she was handcuffing the cops and like sending them away in her Femme Fatale tour.
That's post 08 Britney, who can do whatever the fuck she wants, not some guy from Moldova.
But granted, this was 5 years after the 2010 Femme Fatale tour, so this could have very well been drawn by inspiration from.
Still,
regardless of your inspiration,
there was nothing
why?
about this song that
Get your
needed
tinfoil hats on, everyone. We're going conspiracy hunting.
Nothing needed that. I mean, that said, song-wise, pretty catchy. Like,
it's catchy.
Not offensive.
I'm down with the chorus. I actually went back and watched the performance several times because I was like, I am enjoying the audio here. I don't want to watch whatever's happening on stage.
Yeah. What the hell was that?
And then at one point,
and
I was
the
like,
tearaway T-shirt.
I had to watch that twice because I was like, why isn't his shirt on anymore?
Out from under the vest. I was like, what am I watching? Right? It was bonkers. It was
there was a point.
If you were just watching it on mute, you would be like, oh, that's got to be an off the wall, just that's so Eurovision song. The song is just a little like love bop.
Yep. Stiff choreo. Reminds me of the actor from that movie We're the Millers, who has the no regrets tattoo on his chest.
He like looked kind of like a Hanson brother, you know.
My question though is,
with the long hair,
he looked like he wanted to dance. He looked like he wanted to like do some moves, but he's holding a mic. Like why can't we do a headset and let him do his thing?
Give us the pop star mic. If we're gonna be inspired by Britney, be inspired by Britney.
If we're gonna go like full on like Britney inspiration here, give him a headless mic.
Yeah, come on.
But I will say that even the cameraman at one point seemed like he was confused about what was going on because he's like zooming over here and then got to catch him over there, and I'm just like, even the cameraman is not sure
Didn't
what's
you all
happening.
practice this? Like,
Yeah, it was very confusing. I mean, and I feel like that's some feedback that we've given, especially in like watching like national finals and stuff, that like a lot of like DNQ type of songs where you're like, the song is this, the staging is this, never the two shall meet.
And that, I think, well, but I think that's why they didn't advance. I truly believe that if you change that staging and not have stripper cops and let him lean into being able to dance and do something fun and
not
upbeat,
have the tearaway t-shirt,
then I think this could qualify. But they did no justice whatsoever to that staging.
Yeah, that was very weird to watch. And that was how we opened the show too. I was like, oh no, what am I in for?
That's one way to
Everyone just said, no, we're not. No.
Like,
that was quite the way to open the show. So
wow, was it ever? It was so weird.
So when it's all said and done, we have our qualifiers for the first semifinal. We have Armenia. For those of you who may have caught that, then we have Armenia, Belgium, Greece, Estonia, Serbia, Hungary. Let's see, Russia, Albania, Romania, and then Georgia are our 10 qualifiers.
And
to the grand final.
They will join the pre-qualified folks in the grand final. And I did appreciate that during the voting time that we did get to see at least a little snippet from each of the people who were pre-qualified. Let us know who those people are and what they're about.
Yep.
And it did really make me appreciate the way they do it now, where they split up the automatic qualifiers and we get to see them in the semifinals. I think it's so fun to be able to like come in and like get to see what you're going to see, and then also to not have your first like performance be in the grand final. So it did really give me an appreciation for the way they do that now.
Because even in the snippets we saw, some of them were
enough.
Well, one, it wasn't enough. Two, for some of them, it was like their music video. For Guy Sebastian, it was like his behind the scenes making of the song. So yeah, the way they do it now, I absolutely appreciate, given what we've seen in 2015.
Totally.
Awesome sauce.
So that being said, we will continue next week with semifinal 2.
Yes.
Yep.
Looking forward to it. Let us know what you all Let us know what you all think about the first semifinal. If you are following along with us, we hope that you can let us know what you're bopping to, what were some of your flops, thoughts, or takeaways from the non-qualifiers, or even some that you're surprised qualified back in 2015 during the first semifinals. Leave them in the comments below if you're listening to us on Spotify or if you're catching this on YouTube. If you're new to our podcast, welcome. You can catch us here at the Eurovision Kiki studio. Again, YouTube or Spotify. You can also follow us on our socials. We're accessible on Instagram and TikTok. That is at Eurovision Kiki. And if you got questions, you can always just leave them down in the comments. You can always add them to either of our socials. But for now, that'll do it for Doug, Katie, and myself. We'll see you all next week at our next Kiki. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.